Okay, well I had to go find a wheel dresser. This is what this is called. This is a wheel dresser. These rotate, and basically what it's going to do is knock out grit or open the wheel up. So this is pretty crude. Again, nothing precision. I'm going to tighten this up. How we do this, I'm going to rest these legs here on the tool rest. Same thing over here. There we go. Pick up my leg and my screw here. Yeah, it's making noise because it's unwinding now. Okay, now we'll take a look at the wheel. Now, let it stop by itself. Don't use this to stop it, and for God's sakes, don't ever use your fingers, because it will be nasty. What that does is it breaks off. A grinding wheel is like a milling machine cutter, except it's got a trillion teeth on it. Now, as it's going around, these teeth are going to break off. It will, to some extent, expose new sharp, but eventually they're going to break all the way off, and now you're left with like ball bearings. So instead of a hook or something that's going to cut, it's going to act like a ball bearing, and a spear does not cut very good. And we've got all the junk out of the wheel. It looks good and sharp, feels really aggressive. So let's get started. Now, I'm going to use a short drill, but I've done this for years, so I'm going to stress, you've got to know where your fingers are. This drill here is in really nasty shape. The end's kind of melded there. It looks pretty crude, pretty bad. And I'm going to redress this. Now, you want to make sure where your fingers are. This is the dangerous part of this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put my forefinger underneath it, hold it with my thumb. I'm going to have this flute straight. I'm going to come straight in, and I'm going to drop this down. This motion, no rotary motions, don't turn nothing. Go straight in, drop down, straight in, drop down. That dropping the shank down is what's going to cause me to get my clearance. Here we go. I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. Straight in, down. Straight in, drop the shank down. Same thing on the other side. Straight in, drop the shank down. Straight in, drop the shank down. If you don't do that, you're going to grind a reverse relief. Now, I don't have near the right angle. I'm going to change my angle a little bit. Still the same principle. Straight in, down. Straight in, down. Rotate it. Straight in, down. Straight in, down. And again, this just takes sheer practice. Now I've got the check, and I don't know how well we can see this. There's one side. Well, that angle's way off, so I need to fix it. Now my angle was too shallow, which means I need to make it steeper. I'm going to grind off away from the center. Straight in, down. Straight in, down. Straight in, down. I'm getting closer to it. That looks good there. I need to fix this one just a little bit. Now just like filing, I can get a lot more grind if I just do it, come at it gently. Now I'm going to come over here to the finish side. I roughed with the coarse wheel, I'm going to finish with the fine wheel. Still need to tweak on that one a bit. That one looks decent. I've got to fix this. I need to drop this angle down. I need to make the angle steeper. It was touching here, it wasn't touching here. That means this is my high spot. I want to grind away my high spot. Here we go. There we go. You've got it centered. I'm higher here than I am here. Same here. Now this drill is effectively ready to drill. Now I'm going to show you a few of the problems you can run into. And this is to demonstrate what happens if you put the shank up the wrong way. You notice the shank's going up towards me. You see that, Wolf?
Yes.
Okay, this is completely backwards. The cutting edge is here. This is the heel of the drill or the back of the drill. There is no physical way this drill is going to cut because my cutting edge is lower than the clearance. I don't have any clearance. I've got zero rake, no clearance. This is what happens when you raise the shank this way. Well, what if you rotate it? Well, let's see what happens if I rotate it. This is the rotated side. Does it look a little nicer than the other side? Yes, but it still will not cut because the cutting edge is lower than the heel. Now there is different ways to do it. My way is not the way. That's the way I was taught by a guy 30 years ago who was taught by another guy who was taught by, so this is just the way I was taught, but it's effective and it works. And this is something you can take home and do. If you got a grinder at home and dull drill bits, don't go out and buy new drill bits, sharpen the ones you got. So let's fix this. I'm going to come over to the coarse wheel. Or shut the grinder off. Again, this probably isn't perfect. I hate to use that word perfect. This drill is effectively ready to sharpen the drill bit. You'll notice that I'm high here, low here, high on the cutting edge. This drill, you can put it in a drill press, it will drill. That's how fast you can do it, but obviously I want you to learn it to do right. Do it right first. Concentrate on getting it right and getting your motions down. The rest of it comes with experience. And that concludes this video on sharpening drill bits.